Hi, so my name is Amanda, and today I'm going to show you 3 different advent calendar ideas to make them a little more personalized and a little more budget friendly. So what I did this year is I looked up a pattern online for an advent calendar, and you have to start looking early because they do run out of essentially patterns. The fabric for them, they sell out really fast. And so I ended up purchasing mine in October, and I got 3 of them. Each of them were $7, and that gave me kind of the front pattern. So for example, this is the advent calendar that I got, and I just thought it was sweet. It has that kind of vintage look to it, but still that really cutesy part. And then it has all of the days, and it's making the most of the space. So some advent calendars will have days kind of spread throughout on the fabric, and a lot of fabric that is just kind of hanging out. And I really like the idea of them all being right next to each other and having a small, more compact advent calendar where the pockets are still large. So this is the one I bought, and I made 3 of them, one for my mom, one for my mother-in-law, and then one for Blake and I, my husband and I. The neat thing about these is you can just buy the front fabric and then you can customize the back. So what I did is I ordered the front online, and then once I was done kind of sewing together the front, I went out to Joann's and I got fabric that I was more personalized to each individual. For Blake and mine, we have the nativity scene. One thing I just love about Christmas is putting out the nativity scene. Blake and I, faith is a big part of our lives, so this just felt like really resonated with us. For my mom, she has this adoration of chickens and like roosters and things like that. So I was very, very excited when I found this adorable fabric. It has all of these chickens and roosters with little Santa hats. So I'm really excited to give it to her. I think she'll love it. And this is what that one looks like a little more up close. Okay, so for my mother-in-law, this one was a little harder to find for some reason, but then when we saw the fabric, it was an easy win. So we ended up getting her this one with little ice skates on some pink fabric. She grew up in Canada and had a pair of ice skates like this, and so we thought this one would be kind of a sweet memory of Christmas when she lived somewhere that it snowed. So now that I've shown you the fabric I picked out and how I created these different advent calendars, I'm excited to show you how I filled them in. Okay, now let's get to filling these advent calendars. Advent calendars can be expensive, or they can be really cheap, and it kind of depends on what you want your advent calendar to be. I really wanted my advent calendars to be personalized and also not break the bank, so I came up with a couple ideas. My first idea had to do with like tea. So my mother-in-law loves tea, loose leaf tea, any of that stuff, and so I was really interested in getting her an advent calendar with tea in it. When I was looking them up though, there weren't some great ones. They're a little pricey, so I ended up looking on Amazon and I found this really neat box that came with 28 different teas. So this is the brand that I got. It's Tea Forte single steeps and just pre-portioned loose leaf teas. And so what was neat about this is they're all different, so you get to try something new every day. And then because there are some doubles, I just had a couple days on the calendar that I put 2 in, kind of like a little fun bonus. So I ended up taking them all out of this plastic thing here and putting them into the advent calendar. And then at the top, I ended up putting these little sticky notes on for the different days. If you take them off, it'll tell you what the tea for that day is and what it's composed of, so it's inside of that tea. I thought that was kind of neat to not like just keep the box from them, but actually to give them the box so that they could see, oh, like this tea tastes really good, I'm curious what's in it, and be able to have all those ingredients right there. So this was a little bonus thing I did because that's just me, I go a little over the top, but you could definitely just trash this and just give them the advent calendar. So here's the tea one. So I ended up putting all those little teas in each of these, and they're so cute. I know they pop out the top a little bit, but for me, it didn't really matter because it doesn't have the title of the tea at the top. It's more in the middle or at the bottom. Okay, so that would be kind of the medium price option. The higher price option would be to buy an advent calendar. That's maybe a beauty advent calendar, something a little more high end. But the way to make it a little more affordable is to buy last year's version. So what I went ahead and did, my mom loves Clinique, and I thought it'd be really special to get her something like that. I tried to first look on eBay just for like a lot, just a bunch of Clinique items, samples. However, there weren't any really good options that didn't have a lot of repeats of samples, and I wanted to have 24 different samples. So what I ended up doing is I ended up buying a advent calendar from last year for a fraction of the price. I think typically, I'm not quite sure, but I think typically calendars like this one would go for $150, and I ended up getting this one for $50. Unopened, unused, so all this brand new stuff, just last year's version. So although this is an advent calendar, and you open it up and it has all the days, I actually didn't even pop the days open. What I went ahead and I did is I took the top and I opened that up and I pulled out each of these. And so then I didn't ruin the advent calendar in case for some reason I didn't have the heart to do it. I thought maybe I'd want to go back and use it. So I just pulled it out the top, so it's still perfectly intact, but I have all of those items taken out. Same thing with the tea calendar. I went ahead and I kind of labeled all of the things on the back with the days in which she would be getting them. And that way, if she wanted to look back, because some of them are samples, they're really tiny, if she wanted to look back because there's a product she really liked, she could look at that day and get the full name of that product and the full ingredients of that product. Also, it has kind of a picture of all the products that you would get, and I definitely didn't want her to look at that early. So I did this for this one as well. Again, a little over the top. You could just throw the box away, but I just thought it was kind of a neat idea. So this is what that advent calendar looks like, fully packed. And I did it in a different order than they had actually done it in their advent calendar, just because I wanted the days to be a little more dispersed, and makeup on some days, some more like skincare products on others. And so I have it all in here. Some things are sticking out the top, like this brush, this cleanser, different things, but it's hidden enough, I think, that it doesn't give it away fully, so it's still a surprise every day. Certain things like this are hiding completely, so you don't know what that is. Yeah, so that would be the little more, the expensive version, but still I would say the budgeted version, because it was a third of the price that it would have been, and it's a lot cuter and more personalized. For the cheapest option, if you're super on a budget, or you're just someone who likes words of affirmation, little sweet notes, I came up with an advent calendar. I haven't filled this one out just yet. You could write little notes and put them in for every single day. It doesn't cost you anything besides the fabric, and you could reuse this calendar every year. So this is the one that Blake and I will be using, and so we're reading a book, or we've read a book, and it's called Love and Respect, and so I thought it'd be kind of a sweet idea to put in here. Maybe every day I'll put something I respect about Blake, he'll put something he loves about me, and then each day we have a sweet note, something encouraging. You could also potentially do kind of whatever you want. I thought of maybe having a day where we're like, let's go jacuzzi, and write like a fun activity we could do together, or let's go on a walk today. Different kind of activities that don't cost anything, or they could cost something, but just are kind of a fun, like, oh, what thing are we going to do today together? So thank you for watching and joining along. It was really fun to get to share my creative ideas with you, and hopefully help you out with some gift ideas for this season coming up. Merry Christmas, and I hope that you have a Happy New Year.